Hello and welcome to Designers Oasis. I'm Kate Bendewald. Today I'm going to be doing an audit of my own website and I'm going to show you the improvements that are admittedly long overdue. So over the last year I've been so focused on Designers Oasis that I haven't taken the time necessary to improve my own website. And so I've learned so much over these last months. I know that I've got some areas where I can improve on my own interior design website. So what makes an effective website? Well, it's one that, number one, is sticky. It gets people to spend some time and not just bounce. But it's also going to be a website that gets people to take action. So that could either be to book a call with you if you're an interior design offering services. This is ideally the call to action you would have and the most important action they could take on your website. But it could also be to follow you on social media or to opt into your newsletter if you have a blog, or perhaps to get your opt-in, your freebie, if that's something that you have as well. So I'm going to show you my homepage, my about page, and my contact page. And I'm going to go through all of the changes that I want to do on those pages. And then hopefully down the road in a few weeks when I'm done making these changes, I'll be able to share with you those updates. So hang tight, this is going to be a very full video, but my goal is that at the end of it, you're going to have some really clear action items that you can take and you can implement on your own website to make it more effective, to get people to spend some time there and take action. Okay, so here we are. Let's dive in. When you first get to my homepage, this is the first thing that you see. And in order to really enter the website, there's this kind of generic learn more button. So it's not terrible. And I honestly have not fully decided whether or not I'll keep this page and add a call to action button alongside this, or whether I'll just eliminate this landing page altogether. So that's kind of to be determined. But here I have my motto, which is creating livable luxury, and then my brand statement, which explains the meaning behind that. And so I'm pretty happy with that, but there's no call to action right here. So as an interior designer offering design services, I believe the absolute most important call to action should be to book that discovery call with you. So if I can, I will try to find a way to have that live alongside here and then learn more if they want to move into the website. So I'll just have to see what I'm capable of doing with I use Squarespace, by the way, with the design using the template that I have. Now, the other thing that you're not seeing right now, because I think that it's set to only show once a day, but that's my opt-in. And if it were your first time coming to this website today, you'd have a little pop-up that appears that is my opt-in. I think that if I do keep this page, I would eliminate that because it competes with my call to action that I really want them to do, which is to book a call with me. So we'll see exactly how this pans out, but for sure that would go away if this stays. Okay, so once they move into the website, there are quite a few things that are really bothersome for me at the moment. So this is my homepage, and I have discovered that there's a real formula to this that I think would work better. So first, I want to start with the navigation. It's not terrible, but it does need some work. The about is fine, but I don't want it to be a drop down. I just want it to be a link that goes to my about page. The about page is such an important page, and we're going to talk about it in a minute. It's, other than your homepage, probably, if you look at your Google Analytics, your top visited page. And so you want to make sure that you get that one right. I will probably eliminate the testimonials and I would move blog up here. Services, if you only offer one service and that's full service, I don't know that you need this, but I do offer 3 different services. So I do have a place for where they can navigate that information. Before and after links to my portfolio, I think that's clear, but I'll probably change that to just say portfolio. When it comes to navigation, you want to make things so crystal clear instead of being kind of clever. And I think that this was me being a little bit clever, and it just needs to say portfolio. Next is for designers. I'll probably keep this. It has links to my podcast and Designers Oasis, and then the contact page, super important. I do have social media icons up here, which will stay as well. Okay, so this just says home. This is probably my biggest pet peeve of this page at the moment. It is an incredibly missed opportunity. This needs to be an attention-grabbing hook that is really sticky. Somebody reads it and they're just like, oh, I want to know more. The other thing that is super important, right, before the fold, so before the fold is the invisible line on your web page that is there before. It's everything you see before any scrolling occurs. Right now, I do have a call to action, but it's below the fold. It's not far, but I want to make sure that that appears right up at the top. Then this copy really needs to be, number one, focused on who my ideal client is and their pain points. The copy here is not bad. I probably will just maybe tweak it a bit, but that head nodding copy that really helps people see she gets me, she knows what I'm going through, she understands why I'm here, I think she could help me, needs to go first and foremost. So I'll probably move these bullet points, which are pain points, up higher. Then I've got a transition statement and just kind of making sure they're in the right place. They're ready to invest in their home. And then I like to have an imagine statement, which the imagine statement is really intended to paint the picture and guide them through this visualization of like life on the other side of this project and working together. So I do like to have that. And this sentence probably would need to move below that, which is, here's what we can do for you. So rearranging some of this copy is first, making sure that this book a call to action is higher, that it's above the fold. And I think that it would really improve this to have one clear sentence above the book a call button that says, book a call with me to discuss your project. I know that booking a call with me is probably pretty clear to you and me, but over the years, I've had a number of emails that are like, so what happens when I book the call? What are we doing there? And so I just want to make it clear. So I'm going to add a sentence above that's like, this is what we'll do is it's risk-free, but I'll say book a free or book a complimentary call with me to discuss your project. So they know that it's risk-free and there's no obligation after that to work together, that we're just going to talk to get to know what your project is all about and how I might be able to help them. So the other thing about this section of copy, which is your head nodding copy, talking to your ideal client, pain points, imagine statement, and then what you're all about, needs to be formatted so that it's very scannable. So bullets and bolding really important words, being careful not to over format it so it looks busy, but this could probably stand to use a little bit more of that. This next section is what we can do for you. So I like this section. It's been really well thought through, and I'll talk about that in a second. But in between this initial section and this what we can do for you section, I want to add a testimonial for two reasons. One, it's visual. Right now, it's just so copy heavy that I think it needs some visuals to break this up a little bit, number one. Number two, placing and sprinkling in that testimonial right after this like head nodding copy is just always a smart idea. So there will be an image and a testimonial there. And then I'll move into this what we can do for you section. I actually like this heading. I think that it's extraordinarily clear about what it is that we can help them with. What you'll see here in bold are features. So these are all of the different types of ways I could help someone. This isn't about the different types of services, because I can do space planning and finish selection and lighting design, whether it's full service, e-design, or designer for a day. By the way, those are my 3 services, which I'll mention again in a moment. This is really just the features of working with me, but promise me when you do this section, you will not write a feature without explaining the benefit. You have to ask yourself, why does this matter? And so, for example, space planning, make sure you're getting the most out of every square foot and that everything fits before you spend a penny, right? If I'm a homeowner and I read this, I think, okay, this is why space planning is so critical and important. Every one of these features has a benefit to explain why this is important. Okay, so I'm actually pretty happy with this. I don't think I'll make any other changes to that. The next thing that really needs to be on this page that's not currently is an intro to the About page. Now, I do have the About page in the navigation, but I want to put it on my home page as well. So that's going to go right here under this What Can We Do For You section. And this About page is going to have a picture and a headline that is a real attention grabbing hook. It's not going to say Meet Kate. I feel like I can do better than that. I don't know what that will be yet, but I'm going to work on that. Maybe 1 or 2 sentences, and then kind of a call to action, a button that would take them to the About page. So this is my services section. First of all, it needs a heading. It needs to say services. So this is what we can do for you. This is the how we can do it section. And overall, I'm pretty okay with this section, but a couple of things I would change. I want to update some images a little bit. I might even put a button under here that goes directly to that page. Also, I just think that these explanations are of what the service is, they're okay, but they could improve. So full service is just, talking about this is a turnkey concierge level of service. This is my signature service. So I probably need to have signature service in there, and which is why it gets more attention than the others. Kitchen and bath design, Simply Design, which is my e-design service, and then Designer for a Day. So kitchen and bath design was to put this in here was pretty intentional. I do a lot of kitchens and baths. I enjoy them, but I can do kitchen and bath design in a full service experience, e-design, or Designer for a Day. But I just wanted to draw attention to that separately because knowing the questions people ask, this made sense for me and my business. So overall, this might just get a little bit of a polish. So this next section is a testimonial, and it's fine. I just think graphically and visually it could be better. So what I'll probably end up doing is designing something in Canva that has the testimonial, but with a little bit more oomph, so to speak. This testimonial is actually from one of my very, very first clients, and to this day is probably one of the kindest testimonials I've ever gotten, but it's a little long. So I might find a way just to trim that down so that it's a little more palatable for visitors. Other than that, I think the placement's fine and just needs some graphic tweaking. Next, I have a press section. I will probably keep this here. I may combine it with the hows section. The one thing I've already clicked on these and noticed is that it doesn't open into a new browser tab. So that's just a setting that needs to get fixed. I think that anytime you have a link on your website that's taking somebody away from your website, it always needs to be set so that it opens up in a different tab. You want them to be able to very quickly and easily come back to your website. Next is what's called the gallery page, and it's called a gallery because it's literally a gallery because you can click on these images and nothing happens. So this just needs a refresh. I think what I was intending here was just to showcase a couple of pictures from my portfolio. So this I will change to say portfolio, and then I will make these clickable, and I'm hoping I can do that. I'll just have to see what's possible with my template in Squarespace. The other thing is that while these pictures are fine, I have probably 3 or 4 more projects that have been photographed and have been collecting digital dust, and it's time to get them up and on the website. The next thing is I think there's just too many. I think I need to whittle it down to, maybe 12. Below this section though, I will keep a button. It'll probably say view portfolio instead of more before and after, because I think that's not super clear. There needs to be some division between these two sections, so that'll probably be a line. Another thing I'm just noticing is that my headlines are inconsistent. So this is lowercase, this is capital, this is lowercase. So all of the headings need to be consistent. And then I've got, as I mentioned earlier, some more testimonials. I'll probably just graphically design these so that they're a little bit more engaging. Then I've got this final call to action that says, ready to chat about your project. That sentence is okay. It's probably going to get tweaked a little bit. I'm not sure, but I just want them to know that this is a complimentary phone call to just discuss their project and see if we're a good fit. And then instead of yes, please, this needs to say book now. Okay. Your footer is really an important place for people to be able to find the navigation that they're looking for without having to scroll all the way to the top. I find myself going to footers all the time, and I almost always find the thing that I'm looking for there. So a couple of things. I would have a quick navigation section. And so this is start a project. That's not what it should say. It should say book a call. And I don't know why it's not in bold and the rest are, but if anything, that should be reversed. The call to action should always be the most prominent. But I would have blog, I would have about blog. This should say portfolio. I would change this logo to be my full logo, Kate Bendewald Interior Design. This is super important to have the city or region where you work. So often I'll go to designers' websites and I can't tell where they work. And it doesn't matter if you do e-design and you work all over the country. I think it's still important to put that regional, or even if you travel for work, to have city and region where you work. Now, I'm actually in the far south side of Denver at this point. So I actually want to add some of the neighboring cities that I want to be able to tap into. So I'll include that. I think having your contact information here is super important. I resisted this for a really long time, but I got feedback through like, oh, I just wanted to send you an email and I couldn't find it anywhere, even from like, I don't know, existing clients or whatever. So here I would do a Google phone number. So you can get a local number with your area code that will go to your phone and it will ring on your phone with the Google Voice app. So you don't have to put out your personal phone number. The other thing is that this is my old Austin area code and I want to update this to be local to Denver. All of this information is important. I'll just want to update this to 2021. Over here, social media, I checked all of these and they're kind of a mess. So first I want to add a little snippet above them that says, follow me on social. Instagram, when I click on here and I click on work with me now, I get the 404 button. So that will change as soon as I'm done with this recording. I'll fix that right away. But I think it's important, this shows just to go through and make sure that these things that you haven't put your eyes on in a little while are being updated. I think a search bar is a really important feature. If you don't have it anywhere else, please have it in your footer. Okay, so that's it for the homepage. Now I want to jump to the absolute most important next page, which is your about page. Okay, so again, missed opportunity. About this needs to be a real attention-grabbing headline. So I'm going to think through what that is. This first paragraph really needs to be geared more towards talking directly to my ideal client, reiterating their pain points and just letting them know, reminding them, hey, you're in the right place. I've got you. I'm your girl. This is going to become a much heftier section. Like this very first section is going to have, like I said, my hook. I'm going to talk directly to my clients and their pain points, remind them that they're in the right place. And then only after I've kind of covered all of that is when I'm going to introduce myself. Next in that section is building authority. So this could be, and I actually have this written in here. It's just not, this whole page really isn't formatted. There needs to be some more perhaps bullets or some more words bolded, just formatting this in a way that it's a little bit more scannable. It's just a lot, it's copy heavy right now. So this talks about, my experience over the last 10 years and some of the projects that I've worked on, as well as a really strong word of mouth clientele. And that speaks volumes to people. Word of mouth referrals do, because it tells people that you've worked with clients that were happy enough to continue to share your name. It's only in this last sentence that I really talk about where I went to school and like my family and that sort of thing. The last section beneath that wants to be what I call a coffee date section. And so this coffee date section, so to speak, is going to be all about letting your hair down a little bit and letting people see into who you are and what you're all about kind of when you're not working. So this could be questions that you answer about your favorite things, or a quiz, or something that shines a light on your personality and your sort of behind the scenes life. And so I will probably graphically design something to go there. Before you move into team, a call to action. So the call to action, I think, should be to book a call with you. So then if you have a team, below here is where I would add that information. if it's anybody at all that is going to be interacting with your client, sending emails or phone calls, they need to have a profile here. Now, my team is changing because I've moved recently, and so this will all look different. But right now, I've got some of my beautiful, lovely team members that have been working with me for years, to which I am forever grateful. If you have any accolades or press or things like that, feel free to include them on your About page as well. Wrapping up, let's move to the contact page. Okay, so here we are on the contact page. It's okay. It needs some work though. This just says 20-minute discovery call. Well, this needs some context. It needs an explanation. 20-minute discovery call. So if this is a vendor that wants to show me a new product, are they going to book a discovery call with me? Really, this needs to have a subheading that explains this is a complimentary discovery call to talk to me, to get so that I can understand your project and see how I might be able to help you and if I'm a good fit for what you're looking for. This would be connected to my CRM. So I use Dubsado, and that's how I would get notified. I'd get an email as well, but it would connect to Dubsado. But then I've got this other sort of nondescript tiny little button down here that says press media or other inquiries. This is fine, and I want to keep this, but I might make it a little bit more obvious. So this is going to be where if somebody comes to my website and let's say they're a vendor and they want to show me some products, or there's a local regional magazine that wants to do a press feature, they need a way to contact me as well. And so this is where they would find that information. And this would just simply link to an email that would go to my inbox. A couple of other things I'll probably add to this are social media links, my opt-in, as well as the frequently asked questions section. And I'll probably keep that pretty high level, but there are a handful of questions that I get all the time that I'll want to answer here for people. There you have it. I hope this helps. And above all, I hope that this gives you some clarity and action-oriented items that you can do to improve your website's ability to not only attract, but to become sticky and have them hang out for a little bit and take action. All right, let me know if you have any questions. Bye for now.